talent isn't intrinsic. Talent is hard work. The willingness to go there, to put all of the work into it, to devote yourself to something and to bring it to life. You can't follow your bliss and expect it to be easier. Before I had a whole other career, I was working as a financial analyst in New York City. I was working for Bloomberg, like suit and tie. I went to graduate school, I went to Stanford. I basically worked really, really hard for 10 years to have a good career. I was extremely ambitious and motivated, and ultimately decided I wasn't satisfied. I had a lot of internal struggle. Something inside of me knew that that was not my path, but I was very committed, and it was hard to turn back. It took me a lot of years to really wrap my head around that one. And photography was there the whole time. It started off really small, like a little seed planted in the ground, and it took a while for it to grow and blossom. But when it did, it was pretty hard to turn away from it. I bought a DSLR camera. I started taking photos. I started taking it with me everywhere. I just started practicing all the time. I started shooting all the time. And then I started to get gigs that I would squeeze into windows, vacation time, weekends. I would ask my boss, hey, I'm joining a National Geographic expedition to Nepal. I need 3.5 weeks. And they looked at me like I was an alien. And that went on for a few years. I decided that I didn't want to live life looking back, having not committed to this. I didn't want to be an old man looking back saying, geez, I wish I had actually tried being a full-time photographer. That to me seemed unbearable. And so I got to a point where I just did it. I quit my life. I quit my job. I quit my career. And I just threw all that out the window. I felt like I jumped off a cliff and had to develop wings on the way down, is what it felt like. Because it was sort of free fall at first. I mean, there's no economic stability. There's no guarantee of work. It's always a hustle, and it's terrifying coming from a place of economic stability to a place of no stability at all. It's been one of the hardest parts. I had to drop my lifestyle costs by like a factor of 20, maybe 25. I mean, I live in this van. I live in like a shoebox. Pretty much every day I would feel like, oh no, what have I done? It's hard. It involved real sacrifice and a ton of hard work, and it took years for me to commit to trusting that and to throw away what I had been working towards. It's been probably the best decision I've ever made. What is gained in that is freedom. The freedom to be where I want to be at the time of years I want to be there, to create my art, to work with other creatives, to create meaningful stories. And I can, just sleep in here and walk out the door and be in a beautiful place. Like right now I'm in Yosemite. We're making a film in Yosemite. I would have never been able to come to Yosemite for multiple weeks and make this film. That's the dream. Photography is a passport for adventure. Photography allows you to step into new experiences with new people. I wanted to be a great photographer because I wanted to have these adventurous experiences as often as I could. And photography allowed me to do that. I sometimes think that all of what I'm personally trying to do can be summarized as doing rad things with rad people. I need to fully engage in adventure and be somewhere that's really hard to be, hard to get to, requires other technical skills before I feel really inspired to take a photo. Exposure. To me, a photograph is not worthy unless it involves real sacrifice and a ton of hard work, and it's unique. The end result, people might look at and just say, that's talent. But it's work. Someone once told me, if you follow your passion, you'll never work a day in your life. I think if you follow your passion, you're gonna work twice as hard. You're going to basically have no boundaries in your life, and you're gonna take everything extremely personally.